असितगिरिसमं स्यात् कज्जलं सिन्धुपात्रे सुरतरुवरशाखा लेखनी पत्रमुर्वी लिखति अधिगृहीत्वा शारदा सर्वकालम् तदपि तव गुणानाम् ईशपारं नयाति तदपि तव गुणानाम् ईशपारं नयाति तदपि तव गुणानाम् ईशपारं नयाति.
Have you seen Baba, who sets cities aflame with longing and drenches them with the delight of existence? You've missed the very meaning of your life if you haven't seen him or been spoken to by him. Says the poet, expressing his deepest yearning for the sight of the divine. Have you seen Baba, who sets cities aflame with longing and drenches them with the delight of existence? You've missed the very meaning of your life if you haven't seen him or been spoken to by him. Says the poet, expressing his deepest yearning for the sight of the divine. Bangalore in South India has been drenched with the delight of existence ever since Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba first set foot on its soil in 1944. A promise was made by him to devotees over 5,000 years ago as Krishna that there would be another descent to earth in human form to lead mankind from this transient world to everlasting bliss. And so it was to fulfill this promise that he would come to be amongst man once again. At first, he revealed himself to a chosen few, but soon his light would inevitably shine on many more. And so, starting in 1944, Bhagavan Baba began making regular visits to the homes of a chosen few devotees in Bangalore. These devotees recognize his divinity and yearn to worship him as their guest. As the years passed, the devotees felt a need for a larger home for Baba. In 1958, Baba visited Whitefield, a small town outside the city of Bangalore. A little while later, in 1960, Baba purchased a place called Nandanavanam, a serene garden set amidst sylvan surroundings, with a small cottage for himself and his guest. Soon, a steady stream of seekers began to arrive, to see him and to be spoken to by him. One among them was a wealthy family who owned a large plot of land near Whitefield. This plot of land was dotted with evergreen trees, a beautiful pond, and a fountain. It was called Mohan Palace, a picturesque estate with a small bungalow. Inspired by their devotion to the young Baba, the family offered Mohan Palace to Lord Mohan himself, the enchanting Krishna, come again to this earth. And so, on an auspicious day in the spring of 1964, Baba formally established his second abode in Whitefield. He renamed Mohan Palace as Brindavan. Brindavan was to be the holy playground for the eternal child, who had come again to win back the hearts of an erring world. Inaugurating the new Brindavan ashram, Swami addressed the devotees. Today, what dawns in Brindavan is Ananda, or happiness. Today, you have earned a greater return than celebrating the beginning of the new year. Sai's will is to establish the Lord in all. At first, Baba gave darshan to devotees under the majestic Mayflower trees, a sight to behold as he moved and mingled among the small groups of devotees and visitors. Brindavan, beautiful, peaceful Brindavan. Thousands of orange and fiery red blossoms on dozens of trees cover the sands of this holy ground. Trees, trees everywhere, and seated amidst these sacred groves are quiet groups of seekers, men and women, rich and poor, from the east and the west, all eagerly awaiting the arrival of their beloved Swami. Beautiful, peaceful Brindavan. Thousands of orange and fiery red blossoms on dozens of trees cover the sands of this holy ground. Trees, trees everywhere, and seated amidst these sacred groves are quiet groups of seekers, men and women, rich and poor, from the east and the west, all eagerly awaiting the arrival of their beloved Swami. In a moment, Swami appears, floating down the walkway from his bungalow into the dapple shade of these sacred trees. All cares drop away, and the eye focuses only on the vision of Swami as he moves among his devotees, seated on either side of the walkway, or sitting around in small groups under each tree. As he walks amongst us, a realization dawns that a current of love is moving in every heart, and that the source of that current of love is none other than Baba himself. As devotees gathered in Brindavan over the years, Baba gathered them under this sacred tree to sing and listen to songs of God.
And had my very first darshan of Swami in 67 only. And immediately I knew he was divine. In those days, the tree had hardly any round. It was just the tree. There was no zinc sheet, nothing. And it was a mud mound around the tree. And they used to put a carpet. Swami used to come and sit on the carpet, and sometimes somebody will sing. In those days there was Shakrama, Saroja, Raja Maggie and all used to be there. And there was one lady called Lalita Bose. So she used to conduct the bhajans under the tree. And
devotees from the early days in Brindavan tell the story of this tree's mystic origins and the sacred vibrations it generated.
And this went on for a little while. Then one day my mother wanted to sing.
Sages and holy men meditated under the shade of this giant fig tree, and it remained soaked with those holy vibrations, and the Lord chose to make it his divine throne. For those who waited in that sylvan atmosphere at Brindavan for a glimpse of beloved Swami, a loving glance, a tender touch, and a beatific smile from him revealed the many faces of God. The exchange of divine love at that moment lives in our hearts forever. In the late 1960s, a small metal roof shed was built around the base of this giant tree. This was to become an indelible part of Brindavan and come to be known as the Sai Ram Shed. The Sai Ram Shed became the gathering place for seekers from far and near who came to sing bhajans and immerse themselves in the shower of love and joy that came from Swami's presence under the tree. Swami says, nature is the best teacher. A tree gives shade to others and takes nothing for itself. It gives fruit to others, but does not itself partake of them.
He Rishikesha Hridaya Nivasa Hridaya Nivasa Sai Murari Sai Murari Sai Murari Sai Murari Puttapatti Purisha Prashanti Vasa Sai Murari Puttapatti Purisha Prashanti
In the early days of Brindavan, Baba allowed his devotees the unique privilege of interacting with him on a daily basis as he walked amongst them on the grounds of Brindavan. Thousands came to sit at his lotus feet, hearts filled to the brim with the beauty of his form and the joy of his divine presence. In the sylvan surroundings of Brindavan, Swami's darshan was like a magnet. that pulls souls from far and near. Even Sai Gita, Swami's pet elephant, would partake of her fill of the divine beauty by worshipping his feet during darshan. The proximity of his divine presence was a reward for many lifetimes of yearning and devotion, a shower of his grace and love. The sweetness of Baba permeates every inch of these hallowed grounds as he walks around, melting hearts and molding minds.
Jai Jai Gopal Rama, Govinda Rama, Jai Jai Gopal Rama, Madhava Rama, Jai Jai Keshava Rama, Madhava Rama, Jai Jai Keshava Rama, Govinda Rama, Jai Jai Gopal Rama, Sulabha Rama, Jai Jai Sulabha Rama, Sulabha Rama, Jai Jai Sulabha Rama, Ek Tu Rama, Jai Jai Anek Tu Rama, Ek Tu Rama, Jai Jai Anek Tu Rama, Govinda Rama, Jai Jai Gopal Rama, Madhava Rama, Jai Jai Keshava Rama, Govinda Rama, Jai Jai Gopal Rama, Sulabha Rama, Jai Jai Sulabha Rama, Sulabha Rama, Jai Jai Sulabha Rama, Ek Tu Rama, Jai Jai Anek Tu Rama, Ek Tu Rama, Jai Jai Anek Tu Rama, Govinda Rama.
The darshan of Swami in those serene surroundings was a transformative experience, verily a gift from heaven. Swami says, "Never take lightly the transformation that is taking place as I walk amongst you. All that my eyes fall on will be transformed. You are being changed each day. My walking amongst you is a gift yearned for by the gods of the highest heaven."
Jaya Jaya Mohana Murali Gopala, Jaya Giridhara Vrindavana Bala, Jaya Giridhara Vrindavana Bala, Jaya Giridhara Vrindavana Bala, Jaya Giridhara Vrindavana Bala, Jaya Jaya Mohana Murali Gopala, Jaya He Madhava Ghana Ghana Neela, Jaya He Madhava Ghana Ghana Neela, Jaya He Madhava Ghana Ghana Neela, Jaya He
Swami further enhanced the sacredness of these Brindavan grounds by deciding to install a statue of Krishna under the Sai Ram shed. What a thrill it was to see Sai Krishna himself giving his meticulous attention to decorate the statue of Krishna. From then onward, a formal program of bhajans on Thursdays and Sundays was instituted by Swami. The divine teacher himself handpicked a few singers whom he had endowed with a great singing ability, commitment to strict discipline, and unstinted love for him. The soothing vibrations of the divine name began reverberating around the ashram grounds. A chair was placed for Swami, and a small altar set up on a stone platform around the tree. And so, under this majestic tree, divine grace and love began to flow out to those who gathered under it. And so began, for nearly 30 years, the glory of the Sai Ram She, under the cool shade of the tree. It became the gathering place for the Lord and his devotees, who by now began arriving by the hundreds. In the early days, devotees gathered under this holy tree to await Swami's arrival. Like a bee attracted to the sweet fragrance of honey, the small band of singers attracted the divine presence to this sacred tree. Devotees from those blessed days say that they felt as though they were transported to the Brindavan of Krishna's time. They knew that Krishna was in the heart of each one of them, yet their life became very sweet only when their eyes were seeing the form of Krishna under this sacred tree, and their ears were hearing the sweet voice of Krishna. In those early days, Brindavan was serene and beautiful. The trees, their gentle swaying motion in the cool summer breeze, defied description. Darshan was an intimate experience as Swami moved gently amongst the small groups of devotees. The beauty of the whole experience, just an unforgettable poem in our lives. The bird with you, the wings with me, the foot with you, the way with me, the eye with you, the form with me, the thing with you, the dream with me, the world with you, the heaven with me. So we are free, so we are bound. So we begin, and so we end, you in me, and I in you.
अम्बा मन्दहास्रवदनी मनोहरि साई जगज्जननी अम्बा मन्दहास्रवदनी मनोहरि साई जगज्जननी माता 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 जगज्जननी माता 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 जगज्जननी.
Baba became the mother, coursing his way among the hungry seekers gathered in the darshan lines, fulfilling prayers and nurturing souls. An unforgettable undercurrent of love from Swami filled us with strength, joy, and peace.
जगज्जननी शुभकरिणी जगज्जननी शुभकरिणी सत्य साई जगन्माता सत्य साई जगन्माता सत्य साई जगन्माता सत्य साई जगन्माता अम्बा मन्दहास्रवदनी मनोहरि साई जगज्जननी माता 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 जगज्जननी जगज्जननी शुभकरिणी जगज्जननी शुभकरिणी. कृष्णा रम गोविन्द नारायण कृष्णा रम गोविन्द नारायण माधवा केशव हरि नारायण माधवा केशव हरि नारायण कृष्ण राम गोविन्द नारायण श्री वेणुगोपाल कृष्ण श्री वेणुगोपाल कृष्ण श्री वेणुगोपाल कृष्ण माधव मधुसूदन नारायण माधव मधुसूदन नारायण कृष्ण राम गोविन्द नारायण.
Swami says, all who come to me in their concrete form have reached the stage at which they are beginning to see reality. Those who cry for the chance to see me in the concrete form have their prayers answered. To each, I give every opportunity for my darshan, for they deserve to receive my love. The Sairam shed became a stage for the divine playwright to enact his play in the hearts and minds of those gathered underneath it. Come one, come all, he says. See in me yourself, for I see myself in all of you. You are my life, my breath, my soul. Hearts were transformed, lives were rejuvenated.
Namah Parvati Pataye Namah Parvati Pataye Namah Parvati Pataye Namah Parvati Pataye Hare Hare Shankara Mahadeva Hare Hare Shankara Mahadeva Hare Hare Shankara Mahadeva Hare Hare
As Baba wove his golden thread of love over Brindavan, nature too responded with unbridled joy. Those tall, towering trees on the ashram grounds swayed in a gentle dance. A silent prayer rang in each heart, yearning for a word or two, a pinch of vibhuti, or a chance to touch those lotus feet. Beginning with the youngest, Swami began molding the character and lives of a new generation of youth through the alchemy of his divine love. Every breath that was inhaled and exhaled in that divine atmosphere at Brindavan was filled with his love. It replenished and refreshed those young hearts and minds. See me everywhere. Talk to me and love me, for I am in each. Then from each I will respond and bring you into glory. You cannot see me in one place and not in another, for I fill all space. During the 1970s, Brindavan transformed itself into a campus for the revival and re-education of the youth, resembling the learning centers of ancient India. Baba weaved his magic through the hearts of young men and women gathered there for the summer course, preparing them for a life of service and dedication to spiritual values. Brindavan also became a launching pad for the Avatar's plan to rejuvenate the ancient culture of India through the youth of India. As the divine plan unfolded, the Satyasai Men's College was established in Brindavan in 1969. Beginning in 1972, and for a number of years thereafter, Swami organized a summer course in Indian culture and spirituality. This began attracting youth from all over India. Brindavan had become a new laboratory for launching the Satyasai era of education.
Swami Bandano, Devara Deva Shiro Mani Bandano, Deva Bandanam, Swami Bandano, Devara Deva Shiro Mani Bandano, Deva Bandanam, Swami Bandano, Devara Deva Shiro Mani Bandano, Uraga Shayana Banda, Garuda Gamana Banda, Uraga Shayana Banda, Garuda Gamana Banda, Naragoli Dava Banda, Narayana Banda, Naragoli Dava Banda, Narayana Banda, Deva Bandanam, Swami Bandano, Devara Deva Shiro Mani Bandano. Mandarodara Banda, Mamanohara Banda, Mandarodara Banda, Mamanohara Banda, Brindavana Pati Govinda Bandano, Brindavana Pati Govinda Bandano, Makrarano Banda.
To have the Lord Himself initiate a conversation with you was a gift from heaven, a chance of 1,000 lifetimes, a reconnection with our soul. Yet, every eye that feasted on the divine form of Swami shed tears of deep gratitude and experienced unspoken joy when Swami passed by in the darshan lines.
Deva Shiro Mani Bandano.
As the crowds grew larger and more diverse, Brindavan slowly transformed itself into a unique shrine, a place where darshan became a conversation with Swami. Hundreds sat silently, eager to receive Swami and to rekindle a deep longing for the divine in their hearts. Darshan became an act of receiving Swami in our hearts. Thousands came every single day, running to find a place under the loving shade of the Sairam shed, eagerly awaiting Swami's darshan, and went home filled with the sweetness of Baba's love and grace. As the number of devotees grew larger and the college facilities expanded, a number of trees were cleared and the Sairam shed was enlarged to accommodate all. The Sairam tree and the shed beneath it became the central gathering place, a place for all of mankind to sit at the lotus feet of the Avatar. A new day dawns in Brindavan, and Swami appears on the terrace of his bungalow as the morning's first light appears. Far, far away he appears, and yet very near is he, resting in the innermost chambers of our hearts.
Govindeti sada snanam, Govindeti sada japam, Govindeti sada dhyanam, sada Govinda kirtanam.
It is 9 a.m. The first prayer to Lord Ganesh pierces through the still morning air in Brindavan. Soon, every neck turns towards the gate of Swami's bungalow, as each heart eagerly awaits the first sight of Swami. The sweet sound of distant singing. Darshan. As Swami walks toward the gathering under the tree, the singing grows in volume and tempo, and the world disappears in him. The only proof of his existence is our deep yearning to be with him forever. A quiet hush falls over the crowd as Swami, resplendent like the morning sun, floats toward the tree.
बृन्दावन सञ्चारी गोवर्धनोधारी गोपाल कृष्ण मुरारी यमुना तीर विहारी बृन्दावन सञ्चारी
ಈ ಬೃಂದಾವನ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬೃಂದಾವನ ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಡ. ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಯಾವ ಮಧುರದಲ್ಲೋ ಯಾವ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲೋ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ದ್ವಾರಕದಲ್ಲೋ ಇದ್ರು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿರಬಹುದು. ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡ. ಬೃಂದಾವನ ಮದೆ ಅಂದರಿದೆ ಗೋವಿಂದರು ಅಂದರಿವಾಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈ ಬೃಂದಾವನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಬೃಂದಾವನ ವಾಸಿಗಳು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿರಂತರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೃದಯ ಬೃಂದಾವನದ ಒಳಗೆ ಈ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮವಾದ ಕೃಷ್ಣವನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೆನೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜನ್ಮವನ್ನು ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತ ನಾನು ಆಶಿಸ್ತಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಸಂಗ ವಿರಮಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ.
This Brindavan is a unique and sacred place. You may imagine Lord Krishna living in other places, but here and now, in this very Brindavan, lives Krishna himself. Swami's wish is that you will make your heart a true Brindavan, where the Lord can reside in it forever. The joy and happiness that wells up in each heart as Swami draws near and near becomes more intense as he enters the portals of the Sairam shed, walks around the tree, accepting letters from far and near, a loving pat here and there, and finally seats himself on the chair. All eyes are now intensely focused on him. All hearts are singing in unison, adoring him and worshiping him. A deep, unspoken joy fills the heart and the mind. Swami is accessible to one and all, pouring forth his love and joy to everyone under the tree. Mankind sits at the feet of the Avatar under the loving shade of nature. Soon, as Sai Krishna decides to depart the Sairam shed, a deep longing fills the hearts of devotees. Devotees have had their hearts filled to the brim with the joy of Swami's darshan. As Swami walks back to his abode, followed at a distance by his trusted volunteers, one feels as though Swami has retreated to his universe and is in deep communion with himself. Another day in Brindavan has ended. Swami has left for the day. But has he really left? It may seem so at the moment, but he is always with us. Being in Brindavan is about you and him. It is about him being your all, and you being a part of him. Swami may leave us momentarily from the tree in Brindavan, but the Swami in the Brindavan of our hearts will never leave us.